Both on television, radio, social media, or national papers, Ekiti 2022 governorship party primaries is at the center of discourse. INEC scheduled 4th to 29th January 2022 for all the political parties to conduct their primaries. PDP conducted its primary on Wednesday, 26th of January 2022, while APC was on Thursday, 27th of January. In APC, though direct process saw the emergence of Abiodun Oyebanji as the candidate, while Bisi Kulawole is the candidate of the PDP through indirect primary. But beyond the victories lie the controversies, intrigues, and suspicions by some aspirants. And from Anambra State, the deal or contract between INEC and the ad hoc staff that participated in the November 6th governorship election is yet to be over. More than 600 ad hoc staff are yet to receive their allowances. Not that the fund is not available, but INEC says they are yet to return some election materials in their possession. So, no return of election materials, no allowances. That is the stand of the resident electoral commissioner of Anambra State, Dr. Orji Ekwanchukwu. The issues are quite weighty, so the resident electoral commissioner of Anambra State and Cletus Ubon will be joining me to give flesh to the issues I've raised. But that will be after some reports that are shaping the political ecosystem. I am Mie Ogede. Welcome. President Muhammadu Buhari and other ECOWAS leaders are holding extraordinary virtual session on the political situation in Burkina Faso. The session holding via video conference is being presided over by President of Ghana and Chairman of ECOWAS Authority of State and Government Nana Akufo-Addo. A communique on the stand of the authority on the recent coup d'etat in the Francophone West African country is expected at the end of the meeting. The National Assembly has reconsidered its decision on Clause 84 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2010 and passed a harmonized version of both chambers, which now provides for direct and indirect and consensus mode of party primaries.
We are very glad that we have been able to achieve this consensus between the two chambers to arrive at this harmonized version. And we are also very optimistic that Mr. President will sign the bill.
Where a political party is unable to secure the written consent of all aspirants for the purpose of a consensus candidate, it shall revert to the choice of direct or indirect primaries.
Six presidential nominees as INEC national commissioners and one resident electoral commissioner have been screened by the Senate Committee on INEC.
That bringing back experienced people, and then they are mixing with experienced ones and those who are coming afresh. That will be a blend for people to learn, and we appreciate the nomination. So I believe President Buhari has an eagle eye to look down and find a qualified person.
The All Progressives Congress APC Nasarawa State says former governor of the state, Senator Umaru Tanko Almakura, is capable of sustaining the gains of the party when elected as its national chairman. This is coming as the party in the state endorsed Senator Almakura as its sole candidate for chairmanship position in the February convention of the party.
He has come out publicly to say, I want this position except for Almakura. And that is the reason why you are now giving me the assignment to take to the national body.
A non-governmental organization, One Nigeria Group, is appealing to the PDP and other political parties in the opposition to play the game by the rules as the 2023 general elections are approaching. President of the group, Mohammed Saleh, says the indivisibility of Nigeria must come first.
put aside political differences, and put the country first, because there wouldn't be any politics without the country. So that is what is significant. It is not about any other thing but about Nigeria.
These are some of the reports we have for you for the outgoing week. So let's go to our first discussion. INEC in November last year recruited about 26,000 ad hoc staff to the 5,720 polling units in Anambra State governorship election. Out of this number, more than 600 have not received their allowances. So what is the reason? Let's join the resident electoral commissioner of INEC in Anambra State, Dr. Orji, via Zoom. Good afternoon, Dr. Orji. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, about more than 600 ad hoc staff that we engaged for last year's election are complaining that they have not received their allowances. And you, on the paper, said they have not returned some of the materials. How true is this, and what are the issues at stake now?
Thank you very much. What happened is that we have taken stock of all the materials that we deployed for the November 2021 governorship election in Anambra State. As part of our routine reverse logistics exercise. And what we discovered is that particularly the beavers, which had so many components, which includes things like the printer, the power bank, Type-C cable, scanner, and keyboard. Some of these accessories of the beavers were taken out by some of the officials that we have handed them over to. And as a result, the commission took the decision to appeal to some of those individuals, to the individuals who have taken them, because we know them. We could drill down to the polling units specifically to understand where these things are missing. For us, the issue is larger than Anambra State. The issue is about how Nigerians treat or how they take care of the national assets, because we consider these equipments part of the national assets. And it's worrying to us that people don't pay so much attention in terms of caring for the assets that the government has procured, which is in their possession.
Okay, have you received some of those materials from the ad hoc staff after the exercise?
Surely, many of the ad hoc staff have started returning. In fact, as at yesterday, out of the 630 materials that were missing, more than about 60 of them had been returned following the appeals we have been making to the individuals that are in their possession. But what we plan is that in the coming week, we will invite all of the individuals implicated in this act to a hearing in our local government offices as well as in our state office, so that we can establish actually what has transpired. We are aware that there might be situations where some of those materials must have been genuinely, legitimately lost in the process of conducting elections. But we are sure that some of them just took them for personal use.
What are the category of ad hoc staff we are talking about here? Are coppers also involved?
No, it cuts across. It cuts across mostly. But the people who we have held responsible are people who are in the chain of distribution of materials. You'll be aware that according to INEC protocol, materials move from the headquarters to the state under the control of the Resident Electoral Commission. And these are then subsequently moved to the local government, where they are handed over to the electoral officers. And then electoral officers thereafter hands them over to the supervisory presiding officers, who then hand them over finally to the presiding officers at the polling units. Of course, there are people who assist these officials in the discharge of their responsibilities, but we hold the officials responsible because they are in the chain of distribution.
Okay, finally, in case at the end of this, said out of about 630, just 60 as of yesterday returned some of the materials. But at the end of the day, if some completely fail not to return, are you looking at other options apart from just withholding the allowances?
Sure, that we withheld the allowances is a first step for us. It's a step that gives us the room to make further inquiries to establish actually what has happened. So we are in that process, and we're hoping that in the next 1 week or so, we'll be able to hear from all the officials. Our plan is to invite them. And then once we complete that process, we'll prepare a report that we'll submit to the INEC headquarters for the commission to take a decision.
Thank you very much, Dr. Oji, the Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC, Anambra State, and I hope we'll invite you for further update in our subsequent editions of Political Update. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now to our second topic. All the political parties are trying to beat the INEC 29th January deadline for the conduct of the Ekiti June 18th governorship election primaries. For instance, the PDP conducted its primaries on Wednesday, 26th January, and NTA's correspondent Tayo Oso, who covered the election, reports that former Ekiti State House of Assembly member Bisi Kolawole is the candidate of the party. Let's see how the process went.
1,208 accredited voters from the 16 local government areas of the state cast their ballots to elect the party's candidate from the 10 aspirants who contested the primary, which was conducted by Governor Udom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom State-led election committee. Kolawole scored 671 votes, beating former Governor Segun Oni, who scored 330 votes, and the former Deputy Governor Olushola Ileka, who came third with 93 votes, as announced by the Chairman, Election Committee.
I hereby say that Olabisi Kolawole, having satisfied the provisions of the Constitution of our party, is hereby declared as the winner.
Bisi Kolawole said everybody is a winner and solicited the support of members to make the party victorious at the governorship poll, while Segun Oni congratulated the winner of the primary election.
And I want to commend all our leaders in PDP, all the people that contested with me. I won't take his leadership role too for granted.
I'm sure you guys are here. You saw it all. So I'm not complaining about anything.
However, Senator representing Ekiti South Senatorial District, Biodun Olujimi, pulled out of the governorship primary before the commencement of the election due to alleged irregularities. In Ado-Ekiti, Tayo Osho, NTA News.
Similarly, the All Progressives Congress APC has conducted its primary through direct process on Thursday, 27th of January 2022, and Abiodun Oyebanji is the flag bearer of the party. Let's hear from Kola Adebobi.
With the submission of results by the returning officers from the different local government areas of the state at the State Party Secretariat in Ado-Ekiti, the Collation Center for the Governorship Primary, the chairman of the election committee and Jigawa State Governor, Abubakar Badaru, described the process as free and fair. Governor Badaru declared Abiodun Oyebanji the winner, having put 101,703 out of the 104,983 votes cast to beat other contestants.
It's my pleasure to declare Oyebanji Abiodun as the winner of these primaries, having scored the highest votes and also having the spread around the 225% spread.
The APC governorship candidate, Abiodun Oyebanji, expressed gratitude for the privilege given to him by the party members and promised to work with other aspirants to work for the victory of the party at the governorship election.
I therefore humbly ask for your support as we begin the task of campaign. We have a huge mission ahead of us to retain the governance of Abia State under a great party and to ensure the continuity of our progressive programs.
Meanwhile, 7 of the 8 aspirants jostling for the ticket of the party had earlier announced their withdrawal from the primary over an allegation of compromise in the entire process. In Ado-Ekiti, Kola Adebobi, NTA News.
Thank you very much. These are our correspondents on the field, giving us update of how events are unfolding as we count down to Ekiti Decide. Joining me in the studio is a former lawmaker, Cletus Obo. You're welcome to Political Update.
Thanks for having me in my maiden edition on NTA Update.
You're welcome. So let's listen to the two reports, one from PDP and the other one from APC. You are a chieftain of the APC as well. So let's hear from you. What is your take on the way the primaries went in Ekiti State, especially the APC, where we heard from the report that about 7 aspirants withdrew before the election?
Well, I think it is the beauty of democracy. It's part of the ingredients that make up the political stew that you have everywhere, especially in developing democracies like our own. Clearly, there is nothing to worry about, because the participation of 7 people, 8 of them as a matter of fact, only shows that the democratic space is free and therefore open. You do not expect that the 8 of them will become candidates. And I'm not sure any of them was deluding himself into that impression that if he doesn't win, the party must go down. That is not the party spirit. Like the Olympians will say, it is participation, but here there is a prize. Even in the Olympics, there are prizes, but the interest is participation. So if in the first place they saw a clean field and opened up themselves for the competition, they cannot be seen to be complaining because they lost. So what has happened in Ekiti, for me, the important thing to take home from both PDP and APC is that it was rank-free, violence-free. Before today, primaries have always been more intense than even the main elections. An intra-party crisis, I will maintain, can always be more difficult to resolve. But with what is happening here, you are bound to have protestations and concessions after primaries, or any election for that matter. You are bound to have stepping down. You are bound to have withdrawals. These are part of the ingredients of the participation process in the primaries of any political party. The 2 frontline parties have demonstrated that they have enough capacity to do this. Only that the waning fortunes of PDP are becoming almost a free fall, a disaster for an opposition party. But we'll give them a good Christian burial.
But 7 withdrew before the primaries. Do you think it was voluntary withdrawal or they were aggrieved? Because you are a member of the party, so probably there are some midnight meetings that you attended that we didn't attend. Can you please share with us?
No, let me say this to you. When people withdraw, some of them participated. Only 1 or 2, they are complaining after the contestation, not before. It is after, because it's court votes. Those votes are not declared invalid. The volume of winning does not in any way matter. And that is why most people are insisting on direct primaries, because you cannot warehouse, say, 5,000 members.
But how direct were these primaries? Because some people are accusing your party in the state that there was no free and fair primary, and that probably, yesterday when the elections were going on, we can see turning of tables even before the election. So, for instance, in PDP, the lawmaker or Abiodun accused that the list was doctored. Yeah. And how you saw your party, it was that transparent?
No, the majority of the people who participated did not complain that they were disenfranchised. That's the first point to look at transparency. It is not about the person contesting. It's about the person who is even to exercise his franchise. Did you allow me to vote, and did I vote under duress? Was I coerced into voting? Because it's not enough to say I won. Under what conditions were you voted for? And if the people who are voting have not complained, it would be very wrong for anybody who lost. It is natural for anybody who lost to say there was manipulation, there was contest. But here Shegoni, he was a former governor of PDP. He came to APC, returned to PDP, part of the political migration that has become the misfortune of our political space in Nigeria. But we still will have to endure that for a while. But you heard him saying, I'm not complaining. Yet others are complaining so bitter as if he did not. He got over 300 votes. Or thereabout. Yes, over 300 votes. He came second, or thereabout. But then he says, I am not complaining. You saw what happened, I'm not complaining. That was his remark. So if a man of that status who ought to say, look, being former governor and coming back here ought to have won, is saying I didn't complain, I don't know who else will have a better stake and should be more hot than such a person who has come to the position of being governor and coming back for a rerun or a retrial. In the case of APC, like I said, the internal mechanism, the sheer progressive ideals that the party has makes it impossible for anybody to come out. The 7 persons complaining, you'll be shocked. As at this morning, the candidate was already saying he has reached out to 3 out of 7. So, horse trading is going to take place.
He said reach out to, probably then they are aggrieved. If they were not aggrieved, why was there need for...
First of all,
we expected them to congratulate him just as a Shegun.
Yes, he said so. About 2 persons congratulated him immediately. In fact, yesterday, if you heard him on Channels Television, he said that the first 2 people that congratulated him were his opponents. First 2 persons to congratulate him. And if by this morning 3 had done, that is 5 out of 7. Like I said, the large reservoir of personalities that we have in APC, based on experience and exposure, politically speaking, will make crisis almost impossible. There will be grievances. First of all, the political contestation is about recognition. And once you lost, first there is the demurring phase of failure and shame, and then the ego that is bruised. So you definitely will be agreed that, who are these people that didn't vote for me? Because if you knew you were going to lose, you wouldn't have gone to contest in the first place. So the hope of winning and then getting the reversal is definitely bound to bring out the worst and the beast in man. Okay, but I don't think it is something that we should worry about.
Let's assume all went well, even in both APC and PDP. But as the process progresses, I think we will see more of it, whether some may go to court or not. Now, let's talk about, now after the primaries, the next thing is the main election. And Ekiti State, they have a high level of educated people. And secondly, the population is quite, Bayelsa, City and Ekiti, they are the least in the country. And we saw what happened in 2018, 2020, I can't remember, when Fayose was the governor, his own candidate lost. And now you have a sitting governor who is also the chairman Nigeria Governors Forum. So if his candidate didn't win, for instance, if APC didn't win, it was going to be a big slap on the party and all the governors there. So are you very sure that APC will win, drawing from the experience we had during Fayose's time when he was a sitting governor, yet the opposition party in the state then won?
Ekiti is the flagship of democracy in Nigeria, not just in APC, but from UPN, from Action Group. That area, even the old Western region, was the melting point of the elite, of the intellectuals. So it is common that those who are schooled and so educated will definitely bring out the best that you can ever get. That is why you can find the large turnout of and the kind of cascading and undulating terrain that you find politically in that area. For instance, I'll give you 3 now. Shegun replaced Fayose. Fayose came back and defeated Fayemi. Fayemi came back and defeated Oni, and he returned. None of them did 8 years in a stride, but did it in a staggered form. That tells you the consciousness of the people of Ekiti State. So they vote according to their conscience and according. I've gone on campaigns in Ekiti State. In Fayemi's first tenure, I was in the security committee. So we were attacked twice at Ifaki. And in Oye Ekiti, we had to go for a rerun in Oye Ekiti on 2 occasions. Then Senator Ayo Arise was the kingpin in that area. Nia Adebayo, the former governor, was attacked in Oye Ekiti when we went for the rerun. I am very familiar with that terrain. So I can tell you clearly that the consciousness of the people of Ekiti State is simply second only to maybe Kano State and Bauchi. Why do I say that? You can imagine that in Bauchi State in the last 2019 election, out of 31 House of Assembly members, APC won 25. At the same time, the same day they were voting for the 25 members out of 31, they voted out the governor of APC. The same voters, the same time, the same day, did that. We got almost all the senatorial seats and the federal house seats. Later on, the former speaker, Dugara, joined us. But he won from there, making only 2 of them from PDP and just about 4 in the House of Assembly. That's what happened in Bauchi State. How did that happen? It was political consciousness. You find that everywhere else, like you find Otedola in Lagos State, where you had all an SDP House and NRC coming to win. We have all that staggered about. They have a rich history of the political consciousness of our people until when it came to the point of impunity. You can hear now that the word impunity has left our lexicon, our political lexicon. The reason is because APC has come to entrench democracy. That is one first legacy. It never has happened for a very long time. You all forgot that a sitting president will watch his party win an election and the entire state, from Senate to Federal House to National Assembly, down to House of Assembly to governorship. And with a stroke of the pen, a judge sends them out. And the president sits there. There is an election in Bayelsa. The governor has no blame on him. The deputy is found culpable. Rather than rerun the election, with a stroke of the pen, the governor is made on the eve 24 hours before it's time to go. And we can go on and on to show that APC has come to stabilize the polity. And when people try to demonize APC with impunity, are you still hearing the word impunity even in the media? It used to be a mantra.
Thank you very much. This is your maiden outing on NTA political update, as you earlier said, and time is really not on our side, but we hope to invite you once again for another edition on political update, probably on the same topic, because you are a library on this issue. Thank you very much, Honorable Cletus Ebon, former lawmaker and chieftain of the All Progressives Congress APC.
Thanks for having me. I hope to be back again.
Thank you very much. That is the much we can take on today's edition on Political Update. Hope you will join us again on Tuesday next week for another fresh package. My name is Mie Ogede. Have a wonderful weekend.